He was abandoned at 9, enslaved as a teenager, and left to die on a frozen steppe. Within 40 years, he ruled half the known world. This is the true story of how the most powerful conqueror in human history was forged from nothing. What if the most powerful conqueror in human history began as an abandoned child, hunted, starving, and enslaved? Before he was Genghis Khan, he was Temujin. He was born around 1162 near the Onan River in the harsh Mongolian steppe. His father, Yasuge, was a minor tribal leader. His mother, Huilin, had once been kidnapped and forced into marriage. Violence shaped his family long before he was born. When Temujin was about 9 years old, his father was poisoned by rival Tatars. The tribe immediately abandoned the family. Temujin, his mother, and his siblings were cast out to survive alone on the frozen plains. They ate roots, they hunted small animals, they starved. In desperation and conflict, Temujin killed his half-brother Begter during a dispute over food. It was an early sign of something hard forming inside him. Soon after, he was captured by a rival clan, the Taichiud, and enslaved. He escaped at night with the help of a sympathetic guard. By his teenage years, Temujin had learned 3 lessons. Loyalty must be earned, power must be taken, and weakness invites destruction. The steppe did not forgive, and neither would he. If you love learning history, hit subscribe and stay curious. As a young man, Temujin formed an alliance with Jamuka, his childhood friend and sworn blood brother. Together, they began building influence among Mongol tribes, but the steppe had no room for 2 leaders. Around 1187, Jamuka declared himself aristocratic ruler of the Mongols. Temujin, who promoted followers based on merit rather than noble birth, represented a threat to traditional tribal hierarchy. They went to war. Temujin lost early battles, including the brutal conflict known as the Battle of the 13 Sides. His forces were outnumbered and scattered. But he adapted. He reorganized his followers into units of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. He deliberately mixed tribes together to prevent rebellion. Loyalty would be to him, not to bloodlines. Over the next 2 decades, he defeated the Tatars, crushed the Karaite, and destroyed the Naimans. In 1206, at a grand assembly called a Kurultai, Temujin was declared Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. For the first time in history, the Mongol tribes were united under one leader. The real conquest was about to begin. Genghis Khan did not inherit an empire. He built a system. Every adult male was expected to serve as a warrior. Discipline was absolute. Desertion meant death. His cavalry moved with extraordinary speed, each soldier controlling multiple horses. They could travel over 80 miles a day. Their primary weapon was the composite bow, short, powerful, and deadly even at full gallop. Mongol archers could strike targets with precision while retreating. Retreating, in fact, was often a lie. The feigned retreat became one of his most effective strategies. His forces would appear to panic and flee, drawing enemies into pursuit. Then they would turn and encircle. He embraced intelligence gathering. Scouts mapped routes months in advance. Spies infiltrated cities. He also embraced psychological warfare. Cities that resisted were annihilated. Cities that surrendered were often spared. Fear traveled faster than his armies. By 1209, he forced the Western Xia kingdom into submission. In 1211, he invaded the Jin dynasty in northern China. By 1215, his forces captured Zhongdu, modern Beijing. He had learned siege warfare from Chinese engineers. He adapted foreign technology. He absorbed knowledge. He was not just conquering territory. He was constructing an empire. In 1218, Genghis Khan sent a trade caravan to the Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia. The local governor accused them of espionage and executed them. Genghis Khan sent diplomats demanding justice. The Shah had them killed as well. This was not a border dispute, it was an insult. In 1219, Genghis Khan launched one of the most devastating campaigns in medieval history. His armies crossed deserts thought impassable. They split into multiple columns, attacking from unexpected directions. Bukhara fell, Samarkand fell, Urgench fell. Entire cities were destroyed, populations were massacred. Some estimates suggest millions died across Central Asia and Persia. The Mongols demonstrated operational coordination across thousands of miles, an unprecedented level of mobility and communication. The Khwarezmian Empire collapsed within 2 years. The message was clear: no one kills Mongol envoys. After destroying Khwarezm, Genghis Khan sent Generals Subutai and Jebe westward on a massive reconnaissance mission. They defeated Caucasian armies, they crushed the Cumans. In 1223, they met a coalition of Russian princes at the Battle of the Khalkha River. The Mongols pretended to retreat for days. The Rus pursued. When the trap closed, the Mongols encircled and destroyed the army. The Russian princes were executed beneath wooden planks, crushed under the weight of a feast held above them. It was a warning shot to Europe. The full invasion would come later under his successors, but the path had already been mapped. In 1226, Genghis Khan turned once more against the Western Shah, who had resisted supporting him in earlier campaigns. Even in his 60s, he rode with his army. The campaign was relentless. Fortresses fell one by one. In 1227, during this campaign, Genghis Khan died. The cause remains debated: illness, injury from a fall, or wounds from battle. His death was kept secret until victory was secured. He was buried in an unknown location according to tradition. The burial party was said to have eliminated witnesses to preserve secrecy. The man who reshaped Eurasia vanished into the earth without a marked grave. At the time of his death, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. Under his sons and grandsons, it would expand further, becoming the largest contiguous land empire in history. But Genghis Khan's legacy is complex. He unleashed destruction on a scale few had seen. Entire cities were erased. Yet he also established religious tolerance. He created a vast relay postal system called the Yam, allowing messages to travel across continents. He protected merchants and reopened Silk Road trade routes, creating what historians call the Pax Mongolica. He promoted generals based on merit, not birth. He rewrote the rules of warfare, mobility, intelligence networks, coordinated multi-front assaults. To some, he is a brutal tyrant responsible for unimaginable suffering. To others, he is a unifier, lawgiver, and architect of global exchange. What is certain is this: from an abandoned boy on the Mongolian steppe emerged a leader who changed the balance of power across Eurasia. He did not simply conquer land, he altered history's trajectory. And nearly 8 centuries later, his shadow still stretches across it. If you love learning history, hit subscribe and stay curious.